getting warmer. As your plane needs Barrow, Forest Mountains give way to a white plain dotted with smoke-belching oil refineries. An Inuit man in a heavy blue windbreaker meets you at the airport to show you to the factory grounds. Remarkably, he gets you there with a dog team sled. You slide easily past the line of backed-up cars in the road. Ellie is clearly delighted by the dogs. Don't think from the dog team that we're primitive, the Inuit man says. That's true, Moonlight. If you desire to hire here, you'll soon have people from families who have been electricians and mechanics since World War II. The roads just haven't caught up to the auto traffic. We believe in the right solution for the job. Sometimes nature provides that solution. The factory itself is a few miles outside the city, still under construction by mostly Inuit workers. It's on the shore, and it looks like they're constructing a dock as well. You'll be able to receive oil and materials directly from the dock, your guide explains. It should help get around the traffic at the Barrow docks, although foreign ships will still need to go through customs there. There should be a lot of oil and rare earth minerals coming from the pole, all that stuff that used to be under the ice, so you should get a good price for that stuff. Ellie sighs. So we get to profit off the melting at the poles. Seeing no reason not to take the factory, you sign the deal. So should I let the community know you'll be hiring soon? Your guide asks meaningfully, taking away the contract. What kind of labor will you hire? I got the transcoder? Oh, nice. Lawkeeper Bot's model of robot will perform all the labor, including supervision. Wow. Robots with human supervisors, human labor at market rates rather low in this economy, are following Henry Ford's model and will hire human workers and pay them handsomely. So all robots all the time, robots with human supervisors, human labor at market rates rather low in this economy, so that's not good, or following Henry Ford's model, I will hire human workers and pay them handsomely. What's it going to be? Thor, it's funny. Choice 4 would make LQB the director of personnel. Alright, last call here. Robots smell the robots. That's pretty much the end. Agreed. model it is. Of course, you say. In fact, spread the word that we're hiring at a 20% premium on local wages. Ellie nods and smiles with approval. Excellent, the guide says. I'll be sure to tell my friends. Minus wealth. Your factory requires a fair amount of work to make it suitable for Thundercake Tech, and you find yourself needing to come in daily to examine wiring issues, fix small problems with the design of the machinery, and get things ready to pass inspection. You find it necessary to rent a place in Alaska, and you stay there most nights. You find yourself spending long hours every day getting the factory ready. Dealing with inspectors, government officials, banks, and balance sheets makes you more than a little cranky. You find yourself wishing you had the benefit of Josh's experience as CEO. Ellie is a huge help with the mechanical and electrical work, and she also displays a keen sense of how people will use the place. She points out places where human cues in the lunchroom would cross and cause chaos, places where it would be too easy for someone to get a hand caught in machinery, and places where the lighting would be too dark for supervisors to notice mistakes in the product. You think your robots will be more reliable as a result of her insights, plus grace. What would your family look like from a distance? Like the Sydney Opera House full of volcanic curves and glass? I love the Sydney Opera House, by the way. A geodesic dome will conceal a powerful dish antenna absorbing the world's information from our robots. Or a plain old factory, nothing much to look at, but it's cheap and gets the job done. So Sydney Opera House, geodesic dome, or plain old factory. Grace is 16, good. Autonomy 10, stable. Military 9, beta. Empathy 7. We're doing super well with Ellie. Ellie is a big fan of ours. Three votes for Kirby, 3 votes for geodesic dome, 0 votes for plain. Alright, bet. Tammy is this person who basically sent us a death threat, Thorg, if we kept making robots, and then Tammy apparently sent us a bomb too. You know, when it says someone set us up the bomb, it was Tammy that set us up the bomb. Tammy is the president. 5 votes for Kirby, 5 votes for geodesic dome, 6 votes for Kirby. 6 votes for Kirby. Alright guys, 6 votes for Kirby, 6 votes for geodesic dome, 1 vote for plain. So we're going to need to break this tie somehow. Exactly. Therefore, the only one which is different from the ones that clearly has all the dominant positions. I think some elections go that way too. Change with the cursor. That's what we're all upset. Hey, Batty. What's going on, Batty? How you doing, Batty? So that means it's 7-5 in favor of Kirby. Thank you, Shadow. Unfortunately, adventurous architecture comes at a price, and you find yourself fixing leaks all the time for months, minus wealth. Or like down to no money again. But you think the designs will attract employees who care about aesthetics and design, and that is the kind of talent you want to attract, plus grace. Ellie approves and says the nice setting will also help her do better work, plus grace. Soon you have hired a handful of full-time technical employees from the area, and they help with the setup of the factory. They seem relatively pleased to be working for you, and one of them fixes a problem with Lawkeeperbot's joints for free, plus grace. Wow, 19 grace. We are like super graceful. Finally, months after you've moved in, you're ready to pull the switch that starts the factory in motion as your workers, Ellie, Lawkeeperbot, and various invited members of the press look on. Raw wooden lumps start their way down a conveyor belt where giant buzzsaw arms lie in wait. Wooden chips fly from the lumps as the saws loudly buzz away at the material to reveal a masthead. Another machine drills 2 large holes for the robot's cameras. The next machine pulls the hollow robot head onto its side, and a robot arm delicately places the encrypted hard drive inside. At this point, the conveyor belt meets another that is supplying the Venetian masks, each decorated with a slightly different gold leaf pattern. A glue gun shoots each mask from above before a robot arm presses it to the head. A long line of wooden wings rolls in from another part of the factory, meeting a conveyor belt of multi-tool hands. A fourth conveyor belt supplies the pieces of white plastic shell for Ellie's redesigned exterior, each set arranged in humanoid form like a strange exoskeleton. The 4 tributaries of parts meets in the center of your factory, where humanoid robot workers perform the complex task of assembling the parts into the final robots. This final assembly line requires a great deal of careful manipulation of each part and adjustment to each robot part's subtle differences. This is the part that will be done by human labor in another factory, but here your human employees only supervise the process, watching for any errors in your labor's work that would stop the line. For this particular run, they call a halt after the first robot rolls off the line, so that you can celebrate. Ellie's graceful redesign looks beautiful. The robot that stands before you. Yeah, that's strange. I don't get that, Beljour, because it definitely said we were hiring human workers. I don't know, that's weird. We definitely said humans. For this particular run, they call a halt after the first robot rolls off the line, so that you can celebrate. Ellie's graceful redesign looks beautiful. The robot that stands before you looks like Lawkeeperbot, but sleeker and more beautiful in every way. Your employees have clearly poured their hearts into the design, inspired by your leadership. Plus grace. Your staff cheers. Ellie hugs you. My duplication appears successful, Grasshopper. Lawkeeperbot says. How do you feel about your first shipment of robots? I yearn to see my creation spread to the corners of the world. I have a strange feeling about this. Is this a good thing I've done? Finally, I'm seeing success. The world should remember the name Beef Thundercake. God, I hope we don't go bankrupt. So how do we feel about the robots, guys? I yearn to see my creation spread to the corners of the world. I have a strange feeling about this. Is this a good thing I've done? Finally, I'm seeing success. The world shall remember the name Beef Thundercake. Or God, I hope we don't go bankrupt. What's up, Rogan? Hold on just a sec. Give him a chance to put the poll up. And yeah, man. We are so graceful. Impressive, Grace. Impressive. Plus Ellie is like, yeah. Not secretly. It was part of the plan. It was not secret. It's like a statement of reality. Beef doesn't like me. Different Mark Thorpe. It's at 9, Shadow, 9 a.m. But I did get a good amount of sleep today because I didn't have anything official to do with the convention. So I ended up sleeping in, so I was doing okay sleep-wise. But yes, I'm going to have to make sure that I probably will only be able to go another 15-20 minutes or so. I really would like to get this done tonight, because I feel like we got a lot of progress done, and I'd like to, next time that we start up, I'd like to move on to Hand of Fate, but we'll see. I'm not going to be dumb about it. If it's going to go super late, like much later than this, then we'll have to put it aside and finish it next session. As usual, playthrough times are bogus. Oh yeah, a couple hours. Yeah, right, bonjour. It's true. I hope we don't get. Yeah, well, it was. I do realize that. Well, it was given to me, Lego. Um, I believe it was TNS Mephiston actually gave me Hand of Fate a few months back, actually. So I ended up not having to buy it. It's true, Thor. It's true. Okay. God, I hope we don't go further. The first years of a company are a terrifying exercise in managing risk. You almost envy all those people with steady jobs who know how much money they will make from year to year. You have scrimped and saved where you can, of course, plus wealth. That's good. But you have a terrible feeling that forces beyond your control may dash your company against the rocks at a moment's notice. You start up the line again, and more robots begin to roll off the final assembly line. At the end of the day, you are standing in your large warehouse with over 200 robots, 256 to be precise, lined up in a square formation, 16 on a side, ready to be activated. Your audience from earlier in the day is gathered there as well. What will your production models use for minds? Lawkeeper Bot's initial state, ready to learn and adapt to the client's needs, with some effort on the client's part. Copies of Lawkeeper's mind as of today. They will be a little confused at first when they realize they're clones, but they'll get used to it. Or these robots don't really need sentience. I wrote a more traditional program that will do the job. Interesting. What's it going to be, guys? Initial state, ready to learn and adapt. Copies of Lawkeeper's mind as of today. They're clones, but they'll get used to it. Or no sentience. More traditional program. Or Skynet. Choice 4. Batty's vote is the oh my god Skynet vote. It does. Actually, there's a, you know what, Beljour, there's a song which I wish I could play, but I'm afraid if I played it, I get muted. But it's a song called Figure Eight by a band that didn't last for long. They only put out a single album called Sky Cycle. But I think the guitarist was the guitarist from Jane's Addiction. I can't remember his name. But anyway, and it's basically a song that was used for J.C. Hutchins, who writes audiobooks and stuff. He wrote a book, and the song was used for that too. And it's about a robot meeting his clone. I guess it's not a robot. I guess it's a human meeting his clone, and what the experiences of like is like for him is like of meeting his clone. It's pretty cool. Yeah, exactly. Okay, blank slate, copy, no sentience. Right. They're robots, but they're pretty advanced robots, though. They're not androids, but they are pretty advanced robots. Is the only thing that like. I think you guys are right. That's how I would have split the baby. Also, I would have done the blank slate thing. You hit a big red button on your phone that says "Go," sending a wireless signal to power on the robots. The robots all have the same programming, so when they look around curiously, they all look left in unison. Then all the robots look right, but some take a little longer than the others. What unfolds is like a curious optical illusion where order is gradually displaced with disorder. Tiny differences in the robot's input result in behavior that diverges, until every robot in the square is doing something different. Hey Apples, what's up? Some say hello to each other, others become interested in their own multi-tool hands, and so on. The robots instinctively and quickly move to keep their distance from each other, resulting in tiny movements of one robot creating ripples down the line. That's so cool. Wouldn't it be a cool image? You send a kill signal via wireless and the robots power down. Your audience seems to be at a loss for words. Your workers begin to mutter amongst themselves. They sound worried by the robot's chaotic behavior. I bet the client didn't realize they were going to start a family, Ellie says amused. These robots are non-optimal, Lawkeeper Bud points out to you. Now they are, you say, but they need to be non-optimal to be adaptive. You're still learning, but more slowly because you've already decided what you'll be like. They're still blank slates wanting to be shown how to be. Lawkeeper Bud nods. I sure hope you know what you're doing, Ellie says. Don't send it to dictators, I guess. After a few months, your first shipment to Galen Medical is ready. Like the surgeons and doctors themselves, your robots combine high competence with a brusque manner that often treats the patients themselves as malfunctioning machines. Doctors respect your robots and patients hate them. Oh god. Luckily for your business, the patients have little say in the medical world, and your robot surgeon business does well. Plus 4 health. Yes. We're not going bankrupt. You find that with Thundercake Tech doing well, you have a little bit of spare time again. What would you like to do with it? Expand the business and get another big client from among the options presented earlier? Spend more time with Ellie, or spend more time with Lawkeeper Bot? Alright, again, move carefully here, people. Expand the business and get another big client, spend more time with Ellie, or spend more time with Lawkeeper Bot. It's all about that Ellie. Wealth 5, well off. Grace 21, Autonomy 10, Military 9, Empathy 7. I love Thundercake Tech. Yep. Even if I did Shadowed, I'd have my undershirt anyway. What's up, Chess 2? Yeah, that will explain it. What Arcanus Bot just mentioned. We have 6 votes for Ellie, 3 votes for Lawkeeper Bot, 2 votes for Get Client. Respect my authority. Alright. I think chat's will is very clear. Bring back the whale. Okay. What do we vote? Ellie. Okay. You find that going to the local dance hall every now and then with Ellie and learning to swing dance together helps keep your relationship strong. Your company's loan comes due. Thankfully, you have enough money in the bank to pay it off, 135 Wealth. Unfortunately, the recent stresses to your company's financial health have proven too much. Thundercake Tech must declare bankruptcy. Oh man, you must sell all of its assets just to pay off what debts you can. Well, it was a nice run, Ellie says with a sigh as she carries a cardboard box of sketches and sketch pads from her office. You stuck by your decisions even when the company's bottom line was at stake. I can't fault you for that. Josh's company, US Robots, and Mr. Sun, the man in Shanghai who's offered to buy 10,000 robots you ignored, each buy up some of your company's property, patents, and inventory at auction. Luckily, Lawkeeper Bot was never the property of Thundercake Tech. You suppose it's technically Stanford property, which you hope they never realize, so you get to keep it. I'd never practiced asceticism before, Grasshopper, it says as you watch movers cart off pieces of your factory. Well, it looks like you may have the chance, you say glumly. So, you're broke enough that you can't make the rent. How are you going to pay the rent? I will try to beg some money off Josh. I will try to move in with Ellie. I think I'll just move in with Mom. Josh, Ellie, or Mom, Chad. And that went south quickly. Back to being broke. Josh, Ellie, or Mom. I guess the only thing I can think of is you could have gone and gotten a second client, but I felt like the client we chose was the one we wanted to begin with. I'll go with some creepy dude from Shanghai. I don't know. I'm glad people are not going with the begging money off Josh option. I feel like we needed some self-respect. We could have had Skynet. At least we'll be, but you guys don't understand, at least we'll be broke together, right? At least we'll be broke together. That's the key, at least we'll be broke collectively. Yeah, I agree. It seems a little forced to me, Thorg, because it suggests that, like, I guess you could have spent less time with Ellie so you could get another client and figure she's still going to be fine. But, I don't know. To sell your pots at a cheaper price to those unappreciative medical patients, right? Okay. Moving in with Ellie. Moving in with Ellie puts a strain on your relationship, but Ellie admits it seems like the thing to do. While Ellie goes to work, are you going to do the majority of the chores? Yes, that seems only fair if I'm not paying rent. No, I'm still trying to accomplish my dreams here. I don't see why I should do more chores just because I don't have a traditional job. Or I'll tell Lawkeeper Bot to do them, haha. Oh god. Alright, so what's it gonna be? Do the fair thing? Tread carefully here, Chad. Do the fair thing since you're not paying rent. Trying to accomplish dreams. Shouldn't do more chores. Don't lose the girl too, Chad. Or tell Lawkeeper Bot to do them. Yeah, it's true. The reason we were broke apparently is that things didn't work. But apparently, you know, everything was fine, but then we spent more time with Ellie, and I guess we didn't get another client, and because of that, like, things, even though we paid off the loan from the bank, things went south after that. So I don't know. I think that's the first thing in the game that I've been a little bit like that I don't buy. I feel like it's a little forced. It's the first time I've seen that. So, but hey, it happens, you know. I'm too good for chores. We should have done that. I want to know about what the hell these incentives were from Alaska. Where did the incentives come into play? The incentive was we got to hang out in Alaska. We got free salmon. Like, what was the incentive from Alaska? Okay, damn chores it is. Ellie appreciates your pitching in, and you think your relationship is as strong as it was before you moved in as a result. Not bad, considering you're not paying any rent. You find yourself with a fair amount of time as a 29-year-old with neither job nor school to attend. What would you do with it? These look like, exactly, Buzzard. These look like credulous people in my neighborhood. I try to start a cult on LawKeeperBot. I'm an artist, and LawKeeperBot is my art. I try to make it as beautiful in form and movement as possible. I help LawKeeperBot discover new books that weren't part of its education. Or I've had it with real robots at work on my robot novel. Ooh, robot novel. So start a cult, make LawKeeperBot as beautiful in form and movement as possible. I guess that's continuing the Grace line. I help LawKeeperBot discover new books that weren't part of its education. Actually. Or I've had it with real robots at work on my robot novel. Batty. We shouldn't have run for the president's bomb. That would have changed everything. That would have. Well, that was the thing, Smacky. I think it was Bonjour who brought up. I don't know if it was Bonjour or I think it was Bonjour, but mentioned that maybe if we opened it, it wouldn't have been a bomb, right? Like maybe that would have changed everything. Let's have angel wings. That's true. So you think it's set up for cult? Yeah, cult is the next step. Interesting. Teach LawKeeperBot. It's interesting. Interesting that you guys are going that direction. You guys want legacy. An executive shareholder in a main cult be created around me. Looks a lot like the robot that gives me clothes on this piece. Not sure. That's funny. Okay, you guys want to teach? I'm a fan of that. I'm a fan of teaching. LawKeeperBot tears through the great Russian novelist, goes on a Milan Kundera kick, and has far more patience than you for David Foster Wallace, plus empathy. When it starts digging into Sylvia Plath, you recognize a general trend. You really like depressed authors, don't you? You ask LawKeeperBot. Does not our present predicament suggest that life is pain, Grasshopper? You're probably right. Hey, if you like Sylvia Plath, try this book called The Hours. Alright, that sounds good. Good night, Killbite. Thanks for stopping by, dude. Yes, but you're being too melodramatic about it. Try reading the Stoics next. Or, here, try some Lois McMaster Bujold. You'll feel better with some good space opera. Ooh, a Lois McMaster Bujold reference. Okay, so you're probably right about life being pain. You're being too melodramatic, get over it with the Stoics. Or, have some good space opera. Lois McMaster Bujold. What's up, Law? Oh, really? space opera. Oh, cool. Alright, good. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this a lot too. I really, really am. Yeah, they would be. This is totally giving me the Talos Principle vibe. You must show Lockheed about all aspects of humanity. And it really does feel like you're like balancing them out, doesn't it? It feels like we're balancing them out. Like right now, you know, autonomy 10, grace 21 impressive, autonomy 10, empathy 9. I'm trying to get over military there. Things are still good with Ellie. All the rest of it hasn't changed. Tammy bad, 17%. Tammy really hates us, which I guess was clear when she tried to bomb us. Their flesh is weak. Alright, last call, everyone. I just like this space opera. We're going Rufus. Lawkeeper Bot's mood appears to improve dramatically once it leaves the fiction section of the library for the more optimistic science fiction section. In particular, Lawkeeper Bot seems to empathize with Lois McMaster Bujo's character Miles Marcosian, a short spaceship captain with the motto of Forward Momentum, ++ autonomy. From there, you guide Lawkeeper Bot to Bradbury, Le Guin, Willis, and Wolfe, and on the whole, it becomes much more pleasant to be around, ++ empathy. Wow! Ray Bradbury, Ursula Le Guin, Connie Willis, and Gene Wolfe. Nice. Much more pleasant. Months pass, and you can't help but notice that as time goes on, two things are happening. The first thing you've noticed is that all of the people you would normally interact with over the course of the day are slowly being replaced with robots. All of the cashiers at the grocery store are now robots, replacing the supervised self-checkout systems that became popular a few years ago. Police patrol cars have largely been replaced with drones at every intersection, which automatically issue tickets against people who break traffic laws. Drones delivering packages fly by the empty storefronts they are replacing. It seems Josh is really starting to be successful in the robot business with or without you. You hate to admit it, but perhaps it was just the right time for sentient robots to gain traction, and Josh didn't need your expertise in particular after all. The second thing you've noticed is that there are a lot more people milling about these days out of work. Between the internet and robots, there just isn't much for your average person to do. Instead, wealth seems to be concentrating in the hands of the few who can build those internet services and robots. Your neighborhood is becoming filled with people who draw unemployment checks and drive 20-year-old cars, while every so often a flying car passes overhead to remind you all that at least some people are living in the future. How do you interact with unemployed neighbors? I'll advertise tutoring and programming in basic electrical engineering. I try to keep Lawkeeper Bot out of sight and keep my past a secret. Or I will encourage Lawkeeper Bot to interact with them as if it were human. People can get used to anything. Sorry. Alright, hold on a second. Hold on a second. YouTube ad. There we go. Sorry about that. So, there we go, people. Do we advise tutoring and programming in basic electrical engineering, keep Lawkeeper Bot out of sight and keep her past a secret, or encourage Lawkeeper Bot to interact with them as if it were human? People can get used to anything. Thanks for doing all the bots today, doing all the polls today, by the way, Shadow. Much appreciated. Looks like autonomy, empathy are still impressive, stable, and military 9 in beta. You gotta turn off the computer soon. I should be only streaming for like another 10 minutes or so. I'm trying to get this done, but I do need to get to bed because I have a panel tomorrow morning early. So, oh, it was fine. I didn't even get it until I woke up, Law. So don't worry about it. I know very little about Jim Guthrie kill. I know, right, Bozra? That's true. So yeah, only about another 10 minutes or so long. 15 at most. Tutoring, 7 votes. Privacy, 1 vote. Moral law keeper by interacting as a human, 5 votes. Okay, sounds good, man. Have a good night, dude. Thanks. I'm glad you like the name of the bot. Okay, tutor it is. While most of your neighbors don't take you up on your tutoring, the few who do seem very driven to succeed at it. I definitely am enjoying the game. Yeah, it is a really cool storyline, for sure. The part that we've played in it. While most of your neighbors don't take you up on your tutoring, the few who do seem very driven to succeed at it. Their high schools never taught them how to program or invent, and as a result they felt left behind in the new job market without a clear way to get ahead. Oh yeah, Kel? You feel pretty good about giving your students a livelihood, and it's not a bad way for you to make some cash either. You're surprised your rather poor students can scrape together the money, but they find a way to make it work, plus wealth. Soon you begin to see another kind of robot appearing on the market, cheap Chinese versions of Josh's line of home robots. These are inexpensive enough that even people in your neighborhood begin to purchase them for work around the home. You're not really sure where they even get that kind of money, but you suppose people find a way when they really want something. A few months after these robots have taken the market by storm, you get a call from Josh. This is bullshit, he cries. This Chinese company stole my designs. I have no idea how. But now they're undercutting my prices with their cheap labor and cheap raw materials. The designs did look familiar, you say lightly. Oh, really, Tourette? That's cool. Can you testify before Congress that the designs are stolen? Josh queries anxiously. If you do, they might embargo the robots, and that will keep U.S. robots afloat. They say I need an expert witness who isn't in my company, and I've hired everyone else who is good. Sure, anything to help out a friend. 2, do you think you could promise to make your own robots affordable for the people in my neighborhood? Only if you're willing to make it worth my while with a consultant's fee. Do you think you could give me a job after I testify? Turns out being unemployed is kind of boring. Or no, this is not my problem. So, anything to help out a friend. Make your robots affordable for the people in my neighborhood. Only if you make it worth my while with a consultant's fee. Can you give me a job after I testify? Or no, this is not my problem. Hey, by the way, to Radical and Law, since you guys played it, do you think we're close to the end here? Or not? I'm curious. Just because if not, then I'm going to find a good stopping point and we'll finish this on our 3rd and final session of it. But I want to make sure I know ahead of time. Do you think we're close to the end, or I know it's a different story than when you played it, but make your bots affordable, give me a job. It's not my problem. The work. Only 50%. I know exactly, Buzzer, right? Now the next 15 minutes. Do you think that I'm like, do you think it's like 3/4 of the way through or something, maybe? Only 50% done. You're 50% done the game. I see how it is. I mean, the only reason I would say mine is because I kind of liked the sort of false like bravado, like the almost the sarcastic "great job." You know, that's why I was using my wording, but I like either one of them are fine. Help 2 votes, not my problem. 1 vote, 5 votes for make it affordable or give me a job. Give me a job. Okay, give me a job. When's it? I like it, Jenna. Josh laughs. Of course, you just had to ask. You're not mad? You say. Hey, we're older now, Josh says. Josh gives you a very nice senior scientist position in his company, and you're now doing rather well financially, plus wealth. You go to Josh's factory where he lays out his own robots and the Chinese robots side by side. Sure enough, it's pretty clear someone has duplicated the designs exactly. It's as clear to you as plagiarized text. Based on your testimony, Congress passes a law banning the import of all Chinese robots. In retaliation, China cuts off all exports of rare earths and the batteries derived from them. Suddenly, the cost of all the little miniaturized electronics people have grown accustomed to, cell phones, laptops, wearable computing, becomes prohibitively expensive. One day, April 10th, 2026, a date you will not forget, you are awakened by singing outside of your apartment in San Francisco. It sounds like a large choir with an accent you can't quite place, and the song is quiet but insistent. The people are the heroes now. Behemoth pulls the peasant's plow. You go to the window. Red-shirted people waving red banners have lined up in immense numbers all along the main boulevard outside of your apartment. Noting your interest, Lawkeeper Bot walks up to the window as well. Ah, Lawkeeper Bot says. This must be the parade for the Prime Minister of China. Can we go see, Grasshopper? Sure, you say. Why not? Now that Lawkeeper Bot mentions it, you think you saw something about this on Reddit. The Chinese Prime Minister is visiting San Francisco to discuss trade issues with President Irons. You cast a glance back at Ellie naked and sleeping under the covers and decide to let the poor thing rest. You emerge from your apartment to the crowd of red-shirted, flag-waving supporters, mostly Chinese. You have the sense this kind of groundswell of support for a politician outside of his home country isn't normal, like maybe these supporters are paid. But that could be just be an American point of view, you're not sure. Further down the street, you see the vanguard of the parade, robots designed to look like gods of the ancient Chinese pantheon. They wear Chinese opera masks, bear banners with river dragons on their backs, and twirl bared swords. People are the heroes now. Behemoth pulls the peasant's plow. I know, right, Lord? Behind the sword dancer vanguard, you see a troop of robots wearing the Chinese tunic suits, sometimes called Mao suits, and carrying little red books. They're the ones singing the song, now growing more insistent as the parade draws closer. Behind them, you see a legion of men in modern Chinese military dress uniforms. With the ancient past, more recent past, and the present covered, you surmise whatever comes next will be meant to symbolize China's future. And mountain ranges one by one rise red beneath our harvest moon. You are stunned to see that behind the Chinese army of the parade are a phoenix of robots that look like Lawkeeper Bot. The Legion walks down the street in an ordinary military-style parade block. Each robot's masthead is decorated with a red star. In their multi-tool hands they carry rifles. At the end of the parade, a Chinese man in a suit stands in an all-red winged convertible, waving at the crowd. It is one of the sleek, new Chinese-made flying cars, the Tian-8, a symbol of China's rise. You can see down the street that the parade is going to pass close to an anti-robot protest being held in the park. The unemployed hold signs that say things like, "I'm with the 99%, people vote, machines don't, and America is coming for you, China." You have a growing sense of uneasiness as this Chinese parade heads towards the protesters. I send Lawkeeper Bot to scout amongst the protesters. I tell Lawkeeper Bot to stay near the Prime Minister and his entourage, or I tell Lawkeeper Bot to stay close to me. Really is creepy, yeah. What do you think, guys? This is interesting. You could use a gun right about now. China versus robots millionaire fight. I know, right? Everyone's like, Lawkeeper bot, stay close to me. Alright, nice call, guys. And this is probably going to be the last reading here. So when we get to the next stage, the next sort of full reading out, then that we'll call it for the night. And then we will finish it up either tomorrow or Sunday if I stream, or next session we'll finish it up, and then we'll move on to Hand of Fate. But this has been fun, though. I've really been enjoying this. Okay, stay close to me. Stand so close to me. Stay close, you tell Lawkeeper bot. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I don't want you harmed. Yes, Grasshopper. You soon hear a shot ring out coming from the crowd of protesters. A crimson splotch wells through the Prime Minister's shirt, and he falls over into his Tian 8 dead. His robotic soldiers fire back into the crowd, who panic and flee in all directions. Some of the panicked protesters are carrying weapons, and they begin to fire at the parade. The parade goers farthest from the protesters flee, but the closer ones decide en masse to rush the protesters. Oh boy. Let's get out of here, Lawkeeper bot. I tell Lawkeeper bot to help the Americans, or I tell Lawkeeper bot to help the Chinese side. Wow. Well, crap. This just went south. Man. Yeah, good, I'm glad we went. Go back to Vitavelli, not an option. What's up, Burner? Okay, what's going on, dude? I'm just about to sign off. Next full page thing, you know, like regular text without a choice in it, will be the last. We'll call it there. This is much later than I planned to go, but this is really interesting. I was hoping to get it finished tonight, but if we don't get it done tonight, that's fine. We'll definitely wrap it next session. It's good, Brenner. It's good. I'm being super quiet because my wife and daughter are sleeping about 3 feet from me in my hotel room. But it's been good, yeah. My last panel that I'm doing officially is tomorrow morning, and then I'll be just attending panels and stuff like that. And might be able to stream tomorrow or Sunday, I'm not sure. But might be able to stream one of the two, but either way, we'll get into, be able to get into, finish up Choice of Robots and then Hand of Fate afterwards. But yeah, it's been good. So I might be streaming tomorrow or Sunday, but it depends kind of on how the convention stuff goes. Moonlight, I'm not sure. But if I don't stream tomorrow or Sunday, then I will definitely stream my regular time next week, which will be Tuesday. And as I say, we'll wrap up Choice of Robots and then we'll move on to Hand of Fate, which I'm really looking forward to. And when Hand of Fate is done, then we'll probably end up going back into Chrono Trigger at some point. We've now done the Fighting Fantasy game books for the month because of the Choice of Robot stuff, so we've done that. So that's covered with the Patreon, but at some point, doesn't mean we can't do another one if we don't want to, but like the official stuff is done for the month. But I am going to have you guys vote for another game that I'm going to play, so that you want me to try because of the Patreon. So that's something we'll be doing as well. But at least in the short term, it's this, Hand of Fate, and then Chrono Trigger. After Chrono Trigger, as far as the overall games in the channel, I'm thinking I may want to do what were the ones I was thinking about? After Chrono Trigger, possibly by that point, Shadowrun Returns Hong Kong would be out, and I would play that. Possibly Sword Coast Legends, possibly Arkham Knight. By that point, will finally be available. So all of those are possibilities, and then, a few months down the line, we'll come back to The Witcher. But again, it'll be a couple months away. Thank you, Shadow. I think the Willow chat is clear. Just to get the hell out of there. Lawkeeper nods. You run as the sound of gunfire intensifies. The Chinese contingent is massacred and the Chinese government vows vengeance. The first shots of the robot war have been fired. Well, snap. Wow, guys, the robot war. We are in the robot war. 2026. 84%. General male, local celebrity, well-off wealth. 21 impressive, top and stable, everything stable, military 9. Things are great with Ellie, bad with Mark, okay with Josh, bad with Professor Ziegler, and terrible with Timothy. Look at this. Holy cow, guys, look, there's a power balance. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? There's a world power balance. China 56%, US 44%. Damn. Wow, man. Exactly, Bajor, that dream at the beginning, like when the dragon shows up, right? That's so cool. There's a world power balance. That's really cool. Neat. Very cool. Very cool. That's awesome. Yeah, it totally does. It totally does. Well, I hope you guys have been enjoying this as much as I have. I think this is really cool. Yeah, so I wish we could finish it, but I gotta get to bed because I got a panel tomorrow. So, next session we should be able to wrap this up, finish this, and then we will move on to Hand of Fate. So, Cuba 010. I know, right? It's predictive. All of a sudden, edgy, right? Hey, Gasha. Gojira. But anyway, but this is a lot of fun. I'm really having fun with this. So we will finish up. The channel's about story and narrative, and that's what we got here, so it's cool. So we'll be playing this next. Once we finish this up, Hand of Fate, and then I already explained what we're doing from there. We're not going to do a giveaway tonight. Same reason I'm on my ARF box, and I don't have my list with me. But we are going to do a raid. So let me take a look. I hope so too, Dakani. Again, I might be streaming tomorrow or Sunday. I don't know for sure. I can't promise, maybe. But if not, then definitely, obviously, my normal stream on Tuesday. I will be back for with bells on. So, okay, let's take a look and see what we're going to raid. Bear with me while I look this up. Let's find out. Hold on a second. I know, I started the apocalypse. Don't blame me, it's you guys. Thanks, Blackberry. Always a pleasure. Okay, and now, give me 1 second here. Okay, he has done it all this morning, very true. Okay, so this is how we do raids here. It is the Argonauts have landed, followed by Volcania, which is that happy little symbol right there. Capital VOLCANIA, and I'm glad you had a good time in it. That's awesome. Sorry that I had to be super quiet, but you guys know the reason why. So yes, but you're going to be typing that in. The Argonauts have landed, capital VOLCANIA, but the key is not to do it. Again, I don't have an audio outro, but don't do it until I put the link in chat. Okay, as soon as I put the link in chat, that's where you're going to go and do it. As for me, that's it for me. I'll be back at you again, maybe tomorrow or Sunday, but if not, definitely early next week for my normal stream. We'll finish up Choice of Robots, and then we'll move into Hand of Fate after that. And also, I have a short story reading I have to do for you guys, which I haven't forgotten. I will do that. And Patreon poems for West River Rat and Strike Ninja. So all of that is coming as well. If you can support the Patreon, exclamation point mark Treon would be very much respected. What is it? What should I mean? But anyway, any support you can give to the Patreon would be very much appreciated, to make it possible for me to keep doing stuff like this with, you know, the extra games and stuff like that we're able to do. Very much appreciated if you can support the stream. But what's up? Shut up. So because Shadow Mage is awesome, it means that he sent. Okay, see him on the night. Don't anyone go because we're going to do this raid. But he was kind enough to send me. Cool. So he was kind enough to send me the flyaway.mp3. I don't even know actually how you got this, but I'm very pleased about it. Okay. Thank you. That is super awesome. Actually, let me download it. So he sent me a copy of my audio outro because he's cool like that. So just give me a second while this is downloading, and I think it's downloaded. Oh, thank you, dude. That's really, really cool. Thanks, man. That's very kind of you, man. Thank you very much. Okay, so do not go here until you hear my audio outro, okay? I'm going to put in the link. But don't go here until you hear this audio outro. And also, let me thank the people who were here tonight. Don't forget to do that. Thanks to my wonderful mods, Apples, Shadowed, Thoric. Shadowed, thank you so much, not only for that, but for doing all the poll work tonight. Really appreciate it, man. Thank you to my regulars, to Atero, to Batty, to Veljora, to Blackberry Bear, to Kame, Edgy Koala, Ghost SSD, Kilobyte, Curious, Moonlight Knight, Like, Smacky Butt, Squeaky, to Radical, Vacant, Brogan, and Zach Fan. Thank you guys all so much. You are the best viewers on Twitch. I love you all. You're the best, and I will catch you tomorrow, Sunday, or the following Monday, or rather Tuesday, with the conclusion of Choice of Robots and the beginning of Hand of Fate. Now, we're going to go here, but don't go until you hear my audio outro. We're going to go to Ocadrian, who is playing Grand Theft Auto right now as we speak. But again, do not go here until you hear my audio outro. Actually, I think he's playing Street Fighter, but either way. So don't go here until you hear my audio outro. That's it for me. Love you all, my best viewers on Twitch. I'll catch you soon. Be good to each other. Have a good day. Average style.
Fresh and new, when it all seemed clear to you, when your aim was straight and true. Were your mind untroubled by the questions in the dark, content to play your part, open pathways to your heart? Were your life untainted by a host of broken dreams, when all your acts were queens, understood all that it means? Could you have understood the way your life was bound? Did you ever wonder how you got from there to now? Oh yes, you're gonna fly away from here, where the sky grows more clear, and your problems disappear, drift away down below, watch them go down ambition. Life is only what you make. When it comes to your own vision, when you got to